Okay, guys, I'm going to be going pretty fast on this. So you can always pause, rewind, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to try to create a short 5 to 10 minute video explaining how an easy way that you can take notes in class is. So I've already got my classwork pulled up right here, a notes page for Adams. Notice that there is a Word doc, a Google Doc, and a PDF all right here for my notes for Adams page. It's all through the same document. Students can use whichever version that they want. Some students may want to use Word, some may want to use Google Docs, and then there's always the PDF option. They can print it, do whatever that they need to do. However, not a lot of people have printers at home anymore. So students who don't have a printer at home still need a way to take notes. That's where Kami comes into play. It's an extremely easy application to use, and it's very quick. It's for what they need it for. It works very, very good. So we're going to click on this right here. Whenever you click a PDF file, it's going to open up like this. And by the way, this PDF file right here works very, very well for all of you teachers who don't have a digital copy of something. Our printers and copiers at school have the option to email you anything that you can scan. So if you have a paper that you have been saving, that you got just a blank copy of a notes page or a worksheet from a teacher at somewhere down the road, and you don't have a digital copy of it, our printers in the break rooms can email it to you. So if you can make a clean copy of it, you can email it. And so it'll scan it in as a PDF and it will send it to your email address. Track down me or Donna. Ask your team. Somebody on your team might know how to. But we can show you how to email you files off of the printers and scanners. It works a whole lot better. I know some teachers had been telling us, well, we've been taking pictures with our DocCam, our Elmos, and it doesn't look that great. Well, however it looks whenever you scan a copy of it, so if you're making copies of notes on those copy machines, however it looks that you make a copy of, that's what it's going to look like whenever you email it to yourself. It's a whole lot better than trying to take pictures with your phone or a camera or the DocCam. It turns out so much cleaner, and it emails it to you in a PDF instead of a picture format, which is a huge plus. So we're going to go in and we're going to click Open With. Up here in the upper corner, or upper middle of the screen, it says Open With. The very first time that you do this, it's just going to have Google Docs and Translate for Drive here. You will not have this Kami. You have to click Connect More Apps, and you have to add it. In this upper right-hand corner, it says Search for Apps. So you're going to type in Kami, K-A-M-I. Search for Kami, and you're going to have a few options that pop up. Now, I know there's a whole lot more that comes up whenever you first pull this up. There's all kinds of different things. You don't have access to everything because you are on a school account, but you can add the things off that list. So there's going to be a blue button. I'm going to show you that one more time very quickly. I've got a green button right here because I've already downloaded it and connected it. But you're going to have a blue button, click Connect. It's Kami PDF and Document Annotation. Click that blue button, connect it. Go through all the setup. Some things that it's going to ask you, you may not know off the top of your head, just to save you from looking up. It's going to ask you if we're using a learning program. You are using a learning program. It's called Google Classroom. So click Learning Program, yes. Then click Google Classroom. It's going to ask you to select your school. The school zip code is 37891. So type in 37891 for the zip code, then click Eastridge. Accept all of it. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions. Just keep clicking Accept because you really need this program. It's very, very useful. Agree to the different things it's going to ask you. It's going to ask you if it can access your Google Drive. Be sure to click that yes, it can access your Google Drive. This is for students and teachers alike because you need it to access your Google Drive so that you can do things like what I'm going to show you. After all of that, it's going to pull you up a brand new screen to show you what Kami looks like. You don't really need that right now, so just exit out the tab. And I know I'm saying tab, not window, so don't click this one up here in the upper right-hand corner. Click the one on the tab itself, exit it out. And then you're going to come back to this screen. So wherever you've got your PDF ready, just upload a PDF to your Google Drive, do whatever that you've got to do to practice with it. Click Open With and click Annotate with Kami. Now, teachers, whenever you signed up, it may have given you a free teacher account for 30 days. That means it's going to give you a lot of extra options. You're not going to have access to all of those options all the time, so don't get used to them unless you plan on paying $100 a year for those options. There are some options that would be very, very helpful for some subjects, like adding this equations for math teachers. After your 30-day trial, you lose that option. But you can always get to those, and you can teach students this by going to Character Map. You can find a lot of those extra equation pieces here. Now, they have a lot on their keyboard as well, but you can also get to a lot of extra things that you can't use on a keyboard there. But it's, excuse me, but you still have that option for at least 30 days. The biggest 3 things that you're probably going to use up until, for whatever notes is the biggest one is this text box, because this is something that every single student and teacher can use on Kami. So this text box, you're going to click text box. You can change your color to whatever. So there may be notes that you want to do in color. Go to where you want your first letter and click. And then as you start typing, I've got my caps locks on. Notice that my text box resizes as I type. If you are used to using Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, whenever you add a text box, you have to drag and drop to your shape a lot of times. You don't do that with Kami because it's just going to highlight. Instead, click where you want your text box added. That way, you can add your notes. Notice the difference between dragging and dropping and just a single click. The second thing, if you are using an iPad or another touchscreen device, if you have one of those touchscreen Chromebooks, things like that, you can click Drawing, and this is something that you'll still have access to, and you can draw on it. Now, that's going to come in very, very helpful for those who can. So they may want to handwrite. Now, if you're using a mouse, it's not going to turn out very well with a mouse. So that's why text box works wonders. But a lot of people do have access to a touchscreen device. And you can still draw simple things with a mouse fairly easy on these notes, plus, minus, try to draw an N. It looks a lot more like a heart rate monitor. But you got to use what you have available. And notice whenever I erase, it only erases what I have added on Kami. It does not affect the original PDF, which is amazing. Whatever that you add will still be there after you close it. So I'm just going to add something right here. I'm going to type in my email address. That way, if you guys have questions, you can email me, students or teachers alike. Feel free to email me, and I will answer what I can. I'm not an expert here. I'm just a teacher who's using it. So I'm going to try to answer whatever I can possibly answer. So I'm going to close this out. Whenever I go back and open it up with Kami again, my notes are still there that I added, and I can edit those notes. So that's why Kami is so important. Now, there are other features here, like you can leave video comments and things, but unless you're paying for an account, it won't matter. You can always add the comments just like you can in Google Docs, all kinds of extra features. But I highly suggest going in, uploading a PDF, trying this out before school starts. That way you know what you have available, what you can use. And again, you're going to lose a lot of these options after that trial ends. But for now, focus on text box, drawing, eraser, and text comments. That's really where it's going to come into play. And in case you're wondering, here's the teacher plan, $99 a year. It's going to give you access to a lot of that other stuff. and you can pull up the pricing plan at camiapp.com to see if it would be worth it for $100 a year, and to see if you want to use that. All right, guys. Feel free to drop comments on the YouTube video if you have questions, or email me, and I will do my best at answering whatever I can.